Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today to learn about IP&O's new website. The communications team, Rich Whitaker, our creative director, Paul Gogliarmella, senior manager digital, and Brittany Morris, our user experience designer, will walk you through the new site today. If you need anything added or changed on the website, feel free to contact us. In addition to the website, we will also talk briefly about our new shop monitors. So I'll turn it over to my team to tell you about the new website.
So basically, we have a few choices of content management systems. The first one that you see on the left there is WordPress. In the middle is Drupal, and on the right is Joomla. Those are all kind of options for content management systems. And as I was saying, the reason we use Drupal is because it fits that sweet spot of being feature-rich, flexible. The developer community is quite large, and it's design neutral. Joomla comparatively is a lot more of a steeper learning curve, and it's much more for developers, for people who do programming. WordPress is easy and faster to deploy, but it doesn't have all the features, and it doesn't have, most importantly, the role-based access control system, which we rely on to give people different access to edit parts of the site. So why we're upgrading again, I'll repeat, it's as open source code, the community develops it over time by submitting code, which is then accepted by the community and integrated into the software. As this happens, that's called core. As this happens, we need to regularly keep up to date with developing version, which includes security patches and fixes. And when major structural changes happen, they release a new version. So we're jumping from version 7 to jump up to version 9, which is a 10-year upgrade. So obviously a much needed upgrade there. And as far as what's been improved again, it's newer. They have Drupal 10 integrated Symfony and Twig, which is an easier way for us to implement template designs. The ease of use on the user side has increased tremendously. If you compare it to working in Drupal 7, as far as site editing is concerned, it's much easier. And the performance for the end user has been dramatically increased. Because again, just as the software improves, naturally that would happen, but also there's a lot of code that was removed in Drupal 10 from Drupal 7 that really was executed and really didn't need to be. So at that point, I'll turn it over to Brittany.
So now we're going to talk about the decisions that were made from our team, as well as the user experience disciplines that we have implemented throughout the site. So the site has some core features, as Rich had mentioned. We have updated the software to Drupal 9's latest features and software. The site is now fully responsive and can be displayed on any of the platforms or mobile devices, such as tablets, any type of phone, Android, iPhone. Everything is completely seamless when it comes to being fully responsive. We also have integrated CAS for authentication for user login and login to the intranet website, as well as the access ability for the web forms that we have set up. So that allows the user to log in through their net ID. And it also gives the departments an opportunity to update their page content, which involves text, PDFs, and images. Okay. So the IP&O website reflects the brand guidelines in place to ensure brand recognition and consistency. This references not only Rutgers brand, but specifically for IP&O. Throughout the last few years, our marketing team has come up with a specific type of brand guidelines. So we wanted to implement that throughout the site. One of the fonts that we use is the Arial font, and that is strictly for Google Fonts. The point of Google Fonts is to make sure the fonts are properly identified on any browser, such as Internet Explorer and Chrome. Okay, so website functionality. The website functionality leverages Drupal's core feature of views. We will show you what that is in 1 second. But views is great because it allows features to have be able to update content dynamically through one source. We have also integrated the newest Bootstrap framework to allow the site to be fully responsive, like we had said, on tablets and mobile devices. And we are also utilizing Drupal 9 software to keep the site up to date and to seamlessly update content. So Paul, if you don't mind driving for a second, I just want to show them what we are talking about in terms of views. If you don't mind going to the IP&O website. Sorry about that.
Yeah, well, let me just change the sharing preferences. Okay. Should be good now.
Awesome, thank you. I appreciate that. So what we were discussing, views are a particular Drupal setting that we update a specific content, and it updates throughout the site. So if you scroll down a little bit to the recent news section, so we update the recent news section within this carousel here that highlights information throughout IP&O. But what's nice about this is when we update this recent news section, Paul, if you go up a little bit to the top again and go to recent news at the top a little bit further, go to news and then recent news. That filters throughout the rest of the site and the rest of the content throughout the site. So what's nice about this is that we have the ability, if we update information in one section, it'll update continuously throughout the site. Thanks for that, Paul. The site features highlighted content so users can access new information quickly. I'm assuming all of you have seen this site at this point, so you will kind of understand as I go through some of these highlighted content points. For instance, the image carousel that announces information within IP&O, and some of the departments also have leveraged the image carousel for their pages. So we have that, as well as the recent news updates, the IP&O newsletter, to also leverage important documents such as returning to Rutgers, the portrait project, some of the podcast episodes, as well as just key projects throughout IP&O. So our goal is to keep users engaged and to have the ability to navigate through the public-facing website and internal pages seamlessly. So we gathered some user experience initiatives just to kind of understand what was lacking in our previous website and how to update it with our current website. So one of the initiatives we decided to do was to minimize the number of pages that the site contains. Instead of that, we wanted to utilize pop-up windows for minimum content to ensure brand consistency throughout the site, and to have that consistent sidebar on the side where it has helpful information and references. And now I'm going to turn it over to Paul.
Okay, cool. So that was a little bit about the website. I wanted to talk a little bit about another communications initiative that we've been doing for a little bit, and it's about digital signage. So what is digital signage? Well, it's signage that's digital. You know, you've probably seen this before out and about in the world. If you see these pictures, things like, you know, menus at restaurants, you may see now are on monitors like that, or sometimes they're ads on like bus stops now. So what the advantage is that you could take traditional forms of media, so things like prints and posters, and you could digitize them. So this allows for a little bit more flexibility than traditional printing does. For example, you know, stuff like the COVID updates, especially, you know, 2 years ago when things were changing and there was new information all the time, rather than be constantly printing out new flyers with updated information, these changes can be made on the fly and in real time. So if there's new information now, in 3 seconds, it could change and show you what's the most up-to-date and current information. And it could also cater to both pictures and video. So it could show graphics and things like that. So at Rutgers, or at least ones that we're handling, we have 45 of these Samsung monitors across all campuses. That includes Newark and Camden. And what they are mainly for is, so if you haven't seen them, it's because they're catered for employees that usually aren't by their computers. So these are people like custodians, grounds workers, people that need to get this up-to-date information, but they may not have access or the ability to be on their computer all the time or on their phone checking their email. So right now they're in kind of high traffic areas for these workers. So they're in the shops, in the break rooms, by time clocks, and this allows them to have that information multiple times a day if they're passing through. So things that we've had on there include stuff like COVID information about open enrollment, vaccine information, where to get a vaccine, where to upload that info, things about tools like resume builders, position openings, things for the craft trainee program. And we've even customized it per area. So if one area manager wants their particular shop to have one specific message showing, we could break it down like that. We could break it down even monitor by monitor if we want. Right now, we kind of have it broken down by different areas. So, Newark is one, Camden is one, but then within New Brunswick, there's multiple ones in case an area manager wants something a little different than another one. So we thought this would also be a good time to mention this because like how we have upgraded from Drupal 7 to Drupal 9, we've also been changing from Verizon to SkyKit. So it's still on Verizon's network, meaning like the LTE and the data is still through Verizon, but the portal that we make the campaigns for are now through this company called SkyKit. So we think that this is going to provide a little bit easier updating and make things a little more customizable. So for example, one thing that we could do now that we couldn't before is on the old screens, we can only have one layout for the entire campaign. So if something took up the whole screen, then everything needed to take up the whole screen. Or if something needed to be broken down by taking up half the screen and half the screen, then the whole campaign needed to be like that. But now we could mix and match those and make things a little more customizable, and that'll be able to let us be a little more creative with what we could put up there. It has more features like that, where you could keep changing back and forth from different campaigns on a timer. And it's actually migrating now as we speak. I think they just finished up changing to SkyKit as the portal now. So we kind of want you to know this because in case there's a communications initiative that you want to push across that maybe is for specifically custodians or grounds workers, this could be a good tool that we could help you leverage to get that information out to people. And that's it on digital signage. But while I'm still driving, I kind of wanted to show the old website and the new website side by side, so you could kind of see what the improvement looks like comparatively. If I could get that loaded. Because hearing about the upgrades is one thing, but I think once you see the difference between each one, it's a little more jarring. So this is the new one. Actually, let's start with the old one. So this is the old one. You know, it was good, but there was definitely room to grow, especially being mobile friendly and just being a little less buggy. So this was like a basic page on the last one, whereas frozen. There we go. Whereas this is now what that same page looks like now. So, it has that sidebar that Brittany was speaking about. It's a little more interactive. It's a little more user-friendly. And if we even go to, let's say, parking and transportation services on the new one versus the old one. This is the old one. And this is what it looks like now. Just it looks a little cleaner, a little bit easier to navigate, and a little more user-friendly. So what I would say is, if you haven't been on the new website yet, go on, take a look, explore, see if you think it's easier to navigate, easier to find information. We all definitely think it is, and we think it's an improvement. So with that, we'll take any questions. If anyone has anything to ask, feel free to write it. There should be a Q&A section on the bottom of your screen where you can write in anything you want. And we'll try to answer as best as we can. If you don't want to ask now, or if you can't think of anything, please feel free to email any of us any question you might have, and we'll do our best to answer you. So I'm not seeing any questions getting written in. So we'll give people another 10 seconds. Speak now. Oh, here we go. How do I get to the new website? Robert Hoffman. You get to the new website, it's ipo.rutgers.edu. It's the same URL. The URL of pretty much all the pages should be the same. There might be a few outliers here and there, but ipo.rutgers.edu is how you get there. Okay, if there's anyone else, give another 10 seconds. Here we go. Been working with Brittany. Oh, we got some kudos. Been working with Brittany to update a ton on the REHS website. She has been incredibly responsive. Shout out, Brittany.
Thank you, Peter.
Okay. Can you walk through all the website sections for each department? Sure. All right. Brittany, do you want me to drive and you kind of tell me where to go, and we'll point out what you think's best?
Sure, that sounds great.
All right, so walk through all the website sections for each department. All right, Brittany, where do you want me to start?
So at the top navigation bar, there's a link that says departments, and underneath that link, it lists all the main departments or groups within IP&O. So Paul, if you want to click on any one of those, we'll show one as an example. So this is an example of PD&D's layout for the homepage. It has that left helpful links bar here, where it has the direct contact information, the project requests, and helpful links. Paul, if you scroll up a little bit to the top, we also have a secondary nav bar for all the group's homepages, where it has the PD&D homepage, the groups, and any additional links that the department wants to highlight. The nice thing about this template that we have set up is that everything is dynamic, and it's kind of a seamless process. So each department kind of has their own, even though we're staying within the brand guidelines, each department kind of has their own free reign of what they would like to highlight. So for instance, PD&D has the slideshow where they can highlight some of the images that they want, and any crucial information towards the bottom we can put there as well. So that's just one example. And it's interesting because they all kind of resemble each other, but they have different content or things about them that look slightly different. This is an example of the public safety. We have, for instance, that they wanted to highlight that our UPD is hiring. So we have an alert message box that catches the user's attention right away to know. And this is something that's just temporary until the actual position closes. But we can certainly do things like this to kind of highlight key information. Business services is another example. This one's a little bit different because we have these accordion bars here that talks about each of our services and groups, which is really nice. It kind of condenses the text so we don't have continual scrolling. We have that on a lot of different pages as well. This is the Rutgers Golf Course, kind of a similar concept to the rest of them, where we have this slideshow image at the top, and then we have additional resources towards the bottom. A lot of times we highlight some of the videos that Paul has created and our team has created on the homepage of the website as well. This is an example of a calendar page that we came up with where the golf course can add events to each of the pages. Okay, so for instance, I was going to say, I was hoping there was one. We just put notifications on some of the specific days for the calendars. So that's kind of a nice feature if people want to come and figure out when things are scheduled and that type of thing.
Let's go to the intranet too.
Yes, that would be great. So the intranet is another portion of the website. You actually have to log in through CAS for that. But what's nice is that the intranet section is just for IP&O employees. It's not for anyone outside of Rutgers or outside of anyone that has a net ID. But it pretty much highlights the information that each department wants the IP&O employees to know. So we have the directory by units where you can get direct information for each department. You can get their email, number, that sort of thing. But it kind of it follows a similar structure of the way everything's laid out with the accordions, the secondary navigation, and then the helpful links, resources on the side. Oh, looks like we have some more Q&As.
Yeah, let's see what we got. There's no info on new construction or innovation work that I could see. I think that's something that we're working on. Who was able to request a temporary message? I believe that's like the one on the like the public safety page. Who's able to request that? Yeah, Brittany.
So anyone's able to request a temporary message for the page. It's something that we're constantly updating and changing the content on the website. So if there's a particular message that you want to highlight, just let one of us know and we'll be able to do that for you. And you can even give us a time range of when you want us to have it taken down by as well.
I'm just going to hop back in as we discuss these other couple of questions. Bob Hoffman, there's no info on new construction or renovation work, and another anonymous attendee, many large projects are not shown. Will they be added? If you don't see something on the website, it's because your supervisor did not give it to Brittany or Paul or Rich when we were redoing the website. If there's something you want included, just let us know and we'll run it past whoever our contact was with your group. Your supervisor or the group, who's ever in the head of that group, will let us know if they want that work pictured on the website. Nothing was left out because we wanted to leave it out. It was left out because we didn't know about it. So if you really think that there's images or information that needs to be included, just let us know.
I think that's one of the most important things, especially with Drupal 9, is that we have the whole system set up in a way where it's very easy to make changes for us on our end and to be able to, if we update it in one spot, it updates everywhere. So just to reiterate what Liz said, if there's anything that you see that you want to have updated or want to have changed, this is constantly like a work in progress for us to update in terms of the best features and the content that you want highlighted. So just let us know, and just in terms of feedback or anything that you would like to have highlighted on the site.
In fact, there looks to be a little feedback there in the employee benefits section that there are no hyperlinks to these services. You want to check that now?
Yeah, I'm not sure what section that means.
Yeah, I don't know if that person can clarify which section.
Yeah.
Or you can send us a screenshot later, perhaps.
Yeah, I think for any edits or stuff like that, maybe just reach out to us after with what you need, and we'll fix whatever it is, because I'm not sure what that means, just from that comment. But yeah, if something's missing, something, just let us know, and we'll fix it.
I think if that's related to employee benefits, all that information would be on the UHR website, which is uhr.rutgers.edu for employee benefits.
Okay.
Any other questions? I don't see any. Go ahead, Paul.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, if there's anything else that that you're wondering, or anything specific about your group's pages that you want us to fix, just feel free to reach out to me, Brittany, Rich, any of us, and we'll work with you to get what you need up there.
The nice thing, of course, about a website is we can change it in as often or as little as we need to. So anything that requires a change can be done immediately. Okay, I don't see any other questions. So if that's everything, then thanks so much for joining us today. And we're here to, make everybody, I should say, a good presentation to our the rest of our Rutgers community. So if your group is not presented the way you'd like it to be presented, let us know. And yes, it seems we have another question. Hang on a second. No, I don't see it. We talked about the intranet. Oh, the talk about a little bit about the links in the employee section, Paul, if you don't mind.
Okay,
I guess my path and all that.
Share screen again. Okay, so back to the intranet. Yeah, we have all these sections for the new MyPath initiative that is going to be rolling out. Within strategic services, you can get to the status of significant projects. You could get to different surveys if you're interested in that, different reports, asset assessment activity reports, Board of Governors resolutions, and then they even have links to other outside intranets for public safety. So if I click this, it would bring us to here, the fire protection and impairment work request. And then here's the current employee services section. Get to even break it down a little bit more by campus. And these are going to have tons of info for anything employee services related for each different campus.
And employees should check the intranet frequently. There's a lot of new programs. Paul, if you go back to MyPath for a minute, I'll use that one as an example. The MyPath program, you probably remember receiving an email last week about it. It's not this page. It's a new employee development and training program, and it's something that you really want to check back and see if it's useful for you or for your employees to help them grow or to help you grow within the organization. We've laid out a structure and have the people in place who can help you with your career here at IP&O and at Rutgers generally. And these are the types of resources that can be very, very helpful. So make sure that you do check back in our intranet section frequently so that you can take advantage of what we have here.
I'll just show you where to get to that again. So you
Sure.
IP&O staff, intranet login, and then if you want specifically that MyPath stuff, it's going to be in helpful links over here. That's the page we were just on.
And some of you know that we're We have a new work management system coming on board, and that information will be here as well. Anything you need regarding the new system will also be here on the intranet, so that it'll be in a place that's easy for everybody to find. You know where to come, and you'll find all the information you need here. And again, if you have any suggestions about anything you want on the intranet, it is you have to log in through the with your net ID. So only IP&O employees have access to that section. And just let us know if there's anything else you think would be of use and should be added to the intranet. Okay, let's see any other questions. It's hard on Zoom because I can't see your faces. I'm looking at little icons and I don't see any other questions. So I want to thank Paul, Brittany, and Rich for the work that they did on this website. It was a big undertaking and I think it looks great. I think you'll find it very useful. And please remember to come to us as well for any of your graphic design needs, social media needs. Of course, the newsletter comes out of our office and the new Insights News Bulletin, which goes out once a month. That is intended to provide information to the university at large about the services we offer to them. We try to get that out monthly so that they are aware of the movie theater, parking information, police information, anything that affects our constituency, which is really Rutgers University. Okay, thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.
Everyone.